My GMT hike is interrupted by thunder, lightning, rain, resupply and an unscheduled stopover. It's a Scot in the rocks, so let's dive in. Hello, Hendo here, and welcome to part 3 of my John Muir Trail hike. In this video I'm hiking north from mile 109 to 167, days 10 to 15, going over Muir Pass up to Silver Pass and leaving the Kings Canyon National Park from the blue mark on the right to the left down Evolution Valley. Starting Day 10, a short hike up to Helen Lake here, looking over Mount Solomon's and Muir Pass. This creek outlet is a stunning spot, filled up with water in the early morning sun before the final ascent to Muir Hut at just under 12,000 feet. A milestone on the trail. Then would be a long walk down past Wanda Lake, Evolution Lake and the valley below. More beautiful flowers and alpine lakes to feast on. McClure Meadow. I never found signs on the trail particularly helpful. It meant to say take a left for a shortcut in the dry season, so I went left. The creek crossing was only shin height. I switched into water shoes and got attacked by mosquitoes in the mid-afternoon sun. took a break at the Evolution Creek waterfall, cooling my feet before the next drop down. Looking down Goddard Canyon, I got a camp spot just next to the second bridge. End of a long 17-mile day. I was about 4.5 miles before MTR, tidied my trash and beer canister for the next day would be resupply day. I had dropped about 4,000 feet to 8,387 feet and was now in the south fork of the San Joaquin River, the longest river in Central California. On to day 11. Another creek wake-up call. Over the bridge and I was heading into the John Muir Wilderness. The south fork of the San Joaquin River was noisy and dramatic. The terrain fell away. It felt like I was leaving the mountains. The 4.5 miles to MTR seemed forever, longer than I thought, just like every other JMT mile on the trail. Reaching MTR was a tremendous relief, but also it was a trail low point of 7,687 feet. I'd made my first big challenge, carrying 10 days of food to get there. Triple Crown Outfitters resupply was really straightforward for me, and I just cleaned out the canister, repacked with new supplies, raided treats, leftovers, and filled up with water and filtered tap. Bought a much needed bug net. My pack weigh-in was £35, not too bad. I gave away spicy backpacker meals and couldn't eat them. Before long I was back on the trail, up the access trail and then steep up switchbacks in the searing heat. After a torturous climb up to Senger Creek, a 2,400 foot ascent in 11 miles for the day. And suddenly the weather changed. Thunder, lightning, very, very frightening. I pitched early before Sallie Keyes, 10,100 feet, and hunkered down for the night. After the previous night's drama, it was on to day 12. The storm had cleared, a stunning clear morning at Sallie Keyes, a beautiful spot. Only had about 800 foot to reach Selden Pass, just below 11,000 feet. down past Marie Lake, a long descent down Bear Creek and reascent of Bear Ridge, an incredible thing happened. A Texas hiker passed me trying to catch the last VVR ferry of the day. I had resigned myself to not making it and suddenly got swept into a race down to Mono Creek and dry riverbed of Lake Edison. The ferry, a gutsy 17 miles. We made the last ferry by 10 minutes and Paint Your Wagon took us over the lake. Thanks to Texas Jake for having the foresight to book a room and let me stay. Although I had resupplied the day before, I was transported to VVR Vermilion Valley Resort, a bar, restaurant, first beer on them. What a day, what a relief to be there. So on to day 13, VVR Zero day. Everyone in the trail says you must go, and now I knew why. I was so glad I did. I rediscovered my appetite. And here's the leaving weight, £37, not so bad, as well as laundry, washed clothes, sleeping in a bed, hot showers, charging your phone, using Wi-Fi, eating fresh food and drinking local craft beer. It was an opportunity to recover and meet people who had only met in passing on the trail. Hanging out all day, doing nothing was the remedy I needed. Staying 2 nights meant I could sit around the campfire, catch up with people properly. Much is said about VVR prices, but I didn't mind at all. The rest of my trip was free camping and I got my appetite back. I shared teaspoons of my remaining 30-year-old single cask Scotch whisky with fellow hikers and hear other accounts of the previous day's thunderstorm. I definitely missed the worst of it for sure. Now it was on to day 14, time to head back to the trail, and we left in a group around 10 AM. Felt like the start of a trail family. We said our farewell to the VVR team who looked after us well. It was going to be back across Lake Edison, Mono Creek, and across this stunning lake on a clear day. We stopped when Paint pointed out a nesting bird of prey, but up ahead would be Silver Pass at 10,778 feet. It would be a grueling 3,000 feet descent for me back on the trail, but would the group stay together? We dined together on some rocks above Fish Creek, and then it was bed where we'd camped for the night. Day 15, As I got out of my tent, others were breaking camp. We split up, leaving at different times. Over Fish Creek Bridge, the sharp pull up Tully Hole was surprisingly tough, especially first thing, a brute to start the day. The path eventually swung out to a wide long switchback, gaining 1200 feet, finally reaching Virginia Lake at 10,400 feet, a beautiful place to stop and dip my toes in the water and fill up. Above Purple Lake, we chatted to a ranger, had my permit checked, and then a long pack train passed soon after that. Took lunch at Duck Creek, and although the trail was more undulating contour as opposed to steep ascent, the afternoon our energy was sapped. Looking back across Silver Pass in the Cascade Valley, we were starting to get weary and decided to camp at Deer Creek, 9,100 feet after 13 miles. And here I was admiring a fellow hiker's ultralight tent. It was really quite a cool tent, and I didn't have any other footage. So this is the route across. You can see from Camp 14 to Camp 15 this undulation, but it was really a long day. It was very, very hot that day. So this ends part 3 of my JMT experience. 167 miles deep, still a lot of ground to cover. The thunderstorm was a glitch. The heat wave was back in full force. My appetite was better, but soon losing my trail buddies. Join me for the final flourish. I hope it might be useful to you. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Slanjava.